Let's have a little chat, shall we? 1 second. All right, I'm back. So I came through because I wanted to talk about just some experiences that I've had and some information that came through to me spiritually, and stuff like that. One thing I'm beginning to realize, you know, going through the dark, connecting and creating my own symbols, communicating with my subconscious mind. One thing that I'm beginning to really, really understand is that I'm a powerful motherfucker. And anybody, I don't care who it is, that comes against me, I feel sorry for you. Oh, yeah, I feel sorry for you. And that's not coming from an egotistical place. That's coming from a place that some people will not be able to comprehend. I'm even having a hard time comprehending it because I'm going to tell you something else I found out. I found out my soul name. And it was right there in front of me the entire time. It is very important that you find out what your soul name is. Sipping some water. So I had some, experiences in meditation and in the dream world or the astral world or whatever. But I went beyond the astral world. I went into the quantum world and I saw my power and I saw what I am doing. And what I am doing is the motherfucking work. I'm doing the work. And I see that in the quantum realm. I can see that now. That all the rituals and all the shit that I'm doing to help me, it's working. Okay? It's working. And that's why I wanted to make this video because I wanted to say this to people who are, who are on this same wavelength with me. I'm not talking to none of you weird kooky motherfuckers who still worship deities and all that bullshit. I'm not talking to you motherfuckers. No. I'm talking to people who are deities, who are into self-transformation. I'm not dealing with you low vibrational motherfuckers at all. If you are not, and I'm just saying this, just to give information, if you are not ciphering enough through the dark, there can be no self-transformation. If you are not having breakdowns, you will not have breakthroughs. Most people who are advanced spiritually, such as myself, again, no ego, I'm just speaking truth. Most people who are more advanced spiritually, we live more complex lives. So if you feel as though that you may be an outcast, or people may always be at you, or you just may feel as though that you don't belong, that's because usually those of us who are more advanced, and what more advanced means is it's not a question of being better than somebody else. See, that's where we get things messed up. See, that's the ego. When somebody says, "Oh, I'm better than you," see, that's the ego, and that is all part of this world, of this physical debauchery that we call Earth, which is nothing more than the bastard grandchild of the astral world. No, the bastard grandchild of the Kalipov and the quantum world. Okay, think of it that way. They got together and fucked, created the astral realm, and the astral realm created this motherfucking place. Okay, so the Earth is nothing more than the bastard grandchild of the Kalipov and the quantum world. Okay, in this world, there's always this person is better and that person is better. It's not about that. That's egotistical. It's just that some people are on different paths. Some people are more advanced than others in certain areas. You see what I'm saying? It's not about who's better and who's good. I mean, who's better and who's not. It's not about that. It's more so about, are you doing your work, or are you just sitting up worrying about what other people are doing in their work? See, you got those type of people too, sitting around, well, this person doing this, and you ain't supposed to do that with that candle, and you ain't supposed to do this, and you ain't supposed to do that. It's not about that. Are you doing your work? Now, if you're somebody advising a client, or you're advising somebody, that's one thing. But just to be going around, fucking with people just because you think that you can, that's going to get a lot of you motherfuckers fucked up. And it has gotten a lot of you motherfuckers fucked up. You know? It has gotten you fucked up because you have no right to interfere on another person's path. And let me just use this word, and I'm only using this for the sake of using it. It really holds no bearings with me. Shit, give me a second. That is against a prime directive spiritually. Fucking with other people and trying to destabilize their path will get you fucked up. It will get you fucked up badly. Unless that is a person that you are working with to help. And even with that, you have to be careful. Even with that, you have to be careful. Because you don't want to interfere with that person's path. So there's no who's better and who's this. It's not like that. There are some people who are just on different paths. So the more complex the life, meaning the more difficult the life, such as mine has been, then usually that person is more advanced spiritually, or their soul. Let me say it this way. The soul, my soul, is very ancient. My soul is very advanced. So what I begin to really understand, for me, I'm speaking for me, what I begin to really understand is that because my soul is so advanced, because it's so ancient, of course I'm going to have conflict with motherfuckers who are not as advanced and who are not on the level that I'm on, because they look at me as weird because they don't understand me. That's like, how can I put this? That's like, okay, in Star Trek, any of the Star Treks, whenever the Enterprises would ever come across, whenever they would come across any form of new life, although they lived in a technologically advanced, time and culture, although that's not future shit. They're talking about shit from the past. They're talking about our ancient information and the shit we were doing in the past. Trust me when I say that. But anyway, that's another story. Whenever they would come across an advanced species, no, they didn't act hostile towards it, but at the end of the day, that advanced species to them was always a bit odd. Sometimes that advanced species was even hostile towards the Enterprise. You feel what I'm saying? It doesn't mean that it's bad or good. There's no such thing. You know, those are all everything is the same. Bad is good. Good is bad. Just different sides of polarity. Okay? So, what I begin to understand is that because my soul is so ancient and because my soul is so old, I took on a more complex life because I've done every fucking thing. I've done everything. Nobody sent me here. I sent myself here. Nobody is doing anything to me. I am my jury. I am my executioner. I am all the different faces that I have feared. I'm all of those fucking things. And any reality that I've created for myself in this life, while I can blame, different people for their parts for doing fucked up shit, at the end of the day, you know where the responsibility lies? Right here with me. Right here with me. Because I had a very, very, very powerful revelation. When I was in meditation, something came to me and was like, look, 30 years ago, when things in your life, when I was a child, when shit started really hitting the fan 30 years ago, remember you were sitting up looking at such and such, and you started thinking, what if this happens to me? I'm not going to get into the details, but I was watching something on TV and it was very traumatic. It was something that was going on with some child in that movie. I think I forgot what this plot line was. Well, actually, I don't. I'm just not going to get into it. It's not important. But I said, what if that happened to me? What if that happened to my family? And lo and behold, it ended up happening to me. So right there, I created that motherfucking reality for myself. Nobody did that to me. You are your own motherfucking worst enemy. And there are unseen forces that benefit. Some people call them archons. Some people call them demiurge energies. That's why you got to be careful when you saying all this, spirits out there, give me a sign. Who the fuck are you talking to? You have to narrow down the spirit that you're actually trying to get information from. I don't rely on spirits out there because some of them motherfuckers out there do not like us. They're jealous of us. We have to stop it. We have to stop with this Pollyanna way of thinking, you know? But the point that I'm making is this. I had to cipher and I had to go in the dark. I had to dig in the dark to find out this information about the reality that I created for myself. And I use symbology and symbols that I created to do that, to communicate with my subconscious mind so I could pull the light out of the darkness. Light is knowledge. The darkness is wisdom. And you combine the two to have understanding. You combine the light and the darkness so you can have understanding. It's not about, what side is evil and what side is, what side. It's not about that. So once I started pulling shit out of the dark, I said, you know what? It's nobody's fault. I'm talking about myself. I'm not talking about nobody else. So don't get it misconstrued. I'm not talking about anybody else. I'm talking about me and my own revelations. I don't give a fuck about anybody else. Unless it's somebody that wants to, hit me up for a consultation, I'll listen to what you have to say. You understand what I'm saying? So no, this ain't about anybody else. This is about my own spiritual revelation and my own expansion of my own conscious mind. You feel what I'm saying? So once I began to pull shit out of the dark, more shit started coming out. And then I started having emotions and feelings of anxiety and depression. And that's because I was pulling shit out that had been implanted in me by other people because I believed it. See, we a lot of times we're battling shit, or we're battling energies or things that were implanted in us, and we internalized it, and then we fucking believed it. Somebody tells you, oh, you're never going to get married, you're an ugly bitch. And then you end up being alone the rest of your life, being an ugly bitch. I don't mean physically, I mean emotionally, being bitter and angry. See, that's like a what do they call that? That's like an implant, an energy implant, or an emotional implant, or a mental implant. I can't think of the name of it, but you all know what I'm talking about. That's like using words and energy to manipulate your energy. And you know what? Family does this the most. Family does this the most. And I'm gonna say something, and a lot of people may not like it, and I don't care. You gotta let your family go. I'm not talking about people that have children. I know you can't let your children go, but I'm talking about the motherfuckers the motherfuckers that some things are not worth saving. I'm talking about your nasty, bitchy ass aunts, your nasty, nasty, nasty cousins, your nasty, nasty, nasty uncles. The motherfuckers who are always talking negatively. Oh, that's just Uncle so and so. That's how he is. Oh, that's just Aunt Birdie. That's how she is. No, you don't have to put up with that type of motherfucking shit. Because family, they are the biggest motherfucking manipulators of our fucking energy. They're the biggest manipulators. It may be in the motherfucking stars for you. Let me say it that way. It may be in the stars for you to be a motherfucking millionaire or a motherfucking brilliant fucking scientist. And then you'll have this raggedy ass motherfucking aunt in your family, and I got a few of them in mind. You have this raggedy ass aunt in your family telling you, oh, you can't do that because you ain't smart enough to do that. You got kids. They do this to other women all the motherfucking time. They do this shit to other women all the time. You ain't smart enough to do that. You got kids. You need to get you a husband. You don't need to be worrying about that right now. You need to find Jesus. You need to go to church. Yeah, so you can be manipulated even fucking further. So your energy can be ciphered off of by those pulpit motherfucking pimps. You feel what I'm saying? Who lie to you so they can get your money. So that is why it's important for you to know yourself, black male or black female. You know what I'm saying? And from what I'm looking at with black men, a lot of y'all, you know what? A lot of y'all are really not being yourself right now. You know something? I'm going to tell you something. A lot of people are not peeping this shit. But have you noticed how black men are walking around with all these motherfucking tattoos nowadays? I ain't got nothing against nobody with tattoos. But We used to always talk about black women and weave and shit, but how come nobody's talking about all these niggas and all these tattoos they got over their body? Any nigga that tries to talk to me with a bunch of tattoos, I messed with one dude who had a bunch of tattoos on his face, and that motherfucker ended up being a goddamn murderer. He was a fucking murderer. A murderer, yes. And he didn't just kill anybody, okay? He killed somebody in his family. I didn't know it. I wasn't messing with him at the time he did it. But I'm just saying, when I found that motherfucking shit out, I was like, what? This was years ago, though. All of these motherfucking tattoos. All of these fucking tattoos. You know, black men didn't used to deface their body like that. And I'm not trying to put too much emphasis on the body. The body ain't shit because the soul is what's really important, you know? But I'm just saying, I'm noticing a identity crisis among black niggas, black men, a serious identity crisis because black men didn't used to do that shit. Now, every time you turn around, they got all these fucking tattoos. Their energy is even different when they do it. They're tapping into another energy. I don't know what it is, but it's not the same. It's almost like the niggas are possessed with some shit. I don't know. I don't know. I don't even like using the word possession, but you know what I'm saying. But the point that I'm making is this. You have to know yourself. You have to know yourself, and you have to know what's going on in the dark. See, I'm going to tell you all something. Another thing that I learned too. And there's no way of escaping this. There's no way of escaping this. Whatever is going on with you in the quantum world, it's going to reflect in this world. You cannot hide from that. Let me say it again. Whatever is going on with you in the quantum world, if there's something not right with you in that quantum world, then that's going to be the reflection of you in this world. That goes for me too. So evidently there was something going on with me in the quantum world that I needed to fix. And guess what? I'm fixing it. That's why I can sit here with confidence and say, I feel sorry for the fool who fucks with me the wrong way. I feel sorry for them because I've seen the power that I have. See what happens when you take Panic's class? But it's, you know, that and just me doing the work. You know what I mean? It's not about him per se. It's about me doing the work. You know, he is my friend, but I'm just saying. But it's about me doing the work and me understanding my subconscious mind and constantly, you know, researching and studying and doing what I'm supposed to do, because that plays a part in it too. You can't sit around like a bunch of hogwarts and think that, you know, something just, no, you have to probe. You have to poke the bear. Don't go around poking other bears because you might get your head bitten off. You need to poke the bear within you to see if you can trigger something. Because see, I've been triggering things to happen in me. See, because see, what people, let me tell you what people are really trying to do to you, and it's really working. It's not about your physical existence. They're trying to hit your consciousness. When somebody is trying to fuck with you and trying to destroy you or trying to do things to harm you, they're trying to hit your consciousness. That is what white supremacy has been doing to black people for so long. They don't give a fuck about your physical body. They're trying to hit your consciousness. They're trying to get information. They're trying to get in on the party. So what they're really trying to do, they're trying to affect you in the motherfucking quantum realm. They're trying to affect that apparatus of you in that realm. They don't give a fuck about, what's going on here, physical realm. This is just a response to whatever's going on with you in the quantum realm. But now that I have an understanding that whatever goes on with me, whether it be bad or good, I have a responsibility and a choice on whether I want to accept whatever is being thrown. You feel what I'm saying? It's really not that deep. It's just a question of understanding your mind and digging enough in the dark to find out what's really going on with you. What has been implanted in you? What did you believe? So we can sit up all day and blame our mothers, our fathers, our aunts, our uncles, and all that bullshit. And yeah, they played a part in our dysfunction, of course. But at the end of the day, the most important person that you really need to examine and say, well, what did that person do to contribute to this? That person is you. That person is you. And that's why you have spiritualists and other people who try to help you get gain an understanding, a better understanding of, what's happening with you. So you can live a more balanced, fulfilling life in the physical. But if you are a projection of the quantum world, and if there's some shit going on in that realm with you, and if you're just a projection of that, then there's some balancing you need to do in that realm as well. Okay? And your chakras, your chakra system is connected to the quantum world. That is why it's important to balance your chakras, to get those balanced. That's why it's important to have a balanced chakra system. It's not easy. And let me tell you something. If you're doing spiritual work and all you're getting is happy, fuzzy feelings, then it's not working. It's not working because true spiritual work is not easy. It's not easy. If you're getting fuzzy, happy feelings, then you're not ciphering through the dark enough. You're not ciphering through the dark enough. For most of us, some people, everybody's different, I'll leave the door open. For everybody's different because somebody will say, well, that's not true for me. Okay, then I'm not talking to you. I'm not talking to you. I'm talking to those of us who are more advanced. And those people who are more advanced, we tend to have more complex physical lives. You know what I mean? We tend to have more complex, more difficult physical lives because we're more spiritually advanced. That is why a lot of us who are more spiritually advanced, we tend to stay to ourselves because other people don't get us and we really don't get them. It's not a hate thing. Doesn't mean I can't talk to you. Doesn't mean that I think I'm better, because I don't think I'm better than anybody. Because having that type of mindset would have to require me to tap into the lower aspect of me, my ego. Your ego is the devil. That's the real devil, your motherfucking ego. That's the lowest aspect of who you are. Symbolically, when Jesus was being tempted on that mountain, it wasn't no imaginary devil. That was his ego tempting him. Although Jesus did not exist, there's no such thing as Jesus Christ. But I'm just using that as an analogy. He was being tempted by the lower aspect of himself. Material gain, material wealth. Nothing wrong with material gain. But if that is the only thing you're doing, or if that's just the only thing that really motivates you, then you're not doing any higher spiritual evolution. You're not expanding spiritually to a higher vibration. It's about vibration, frequency, and which one are you on? Which one are you on? I'm reading this book now called Deity Linkage or something like that. How to Find the Deity Within You. It's by this person called S. Ali Myers. You know, I just started reading that book and I'm already intrigued by it, you know, because I'm about self-transformation, not about worshiping deities. I don't worship deities. I am a fucking deity. Why the fuck would I worship one? Why would I worship a deity? I am God, and God is me. God, I am. I am God. And that is how, you know, if you're into self-transformation, that is what you should be doing. You know, that's if you're into self-transformation and getting off of the grid. This is the real getting off of the grid. Not going out into the woods eating berries and drinking from a creek. The real getting off the grid is living like a god and being above the laws and controlling and manipulating the laws for your own fucking gain. That's what the real meaning of being a god is. You being able to manipulate the things around you. And that is what I do for myself. That is what I do. I don't have to go to other spiritualists to help me. Excuse me, my nose is stopped up. So I just wanted to come through and say that, you know, if you're not ciphering through enough darkness, and if you're not having enough breakthroughs, if you're not having enough breakdowns, then you're not having any breakthroughs. In order for you to have true breakthroughs, you have to have breakdowns. That includes crying, pulling up emotions that have been trapped in your chakra system. I'm learning a lot of our emotions get trapped in the sacral and the solar plexus. A lot of us, myself included, I don't take myself out of the equation, but I'm working on my motherfucking chakras. I'm working on me, you know? I'm working on me because I'm an energy master for myself, not for anybody else, not to be doing no work on anybody else. I'm an energy master of myself. Okay? The only way I would do energy work on someone else, it would have to be a soulmate connection of mine, someone that's a soulmate. Other than that, I wouldn't do it. You know what I mean? Because that's just not what I want to do. But I can tell you how to make you some motherfucking money. I know how to do rituals and spells for that, you know, and stuff like that. That I don't mind doing. And I have a whole ritual, a badass fucking ritual. One person just told me that ritual, that their money flow is excellent since they did my ritual. Two people actually. They said that their money flow is excellent because this is something that came from me, and my money flow is absolutely excellent. This ain't no motherfucking gimmicks. This ain't no motherfucking whatever. My money flow is excellent. I can afford just about anything I fucking want. Anything. And no, I ain't giving nobody no motherfucking money, so don't ask. Get your own motherfucking shit. Get your own shit. But the point that I want to reiterate is that if you're not ciphering enough through the dark, then you will not be able to really get to a place where you can find balance and understanding. Because you have to go through the dark and pull out what is hidden. See, whatever is hidden in that dark, that is what's going to free you and give you the freedom and the liberation that you need. And so many people are afraid of the word dark or the word occult. And so many people are afraid of ciphering through the dark. And the reason I know that is because I was afraid too. Yeah, I've seen the monsters that, you know, and shit like that. When you go through the dark, I've seen them too. I've seen the monsters and, all of that shit. But at the end of the day, because I didn't show any fear, those monsters then started to dissipate. They started to go away, and gateways started opening. And things started coming out for me. Information. Information equals self-transformation. Let me say that again. Information equals self-transformation. We have to stop being bamboozled by what other people say and what other people think. Fuck what other people say and what other people think. That goes for myself too. It's not about what I'm saying. It's about you doing the work for yourself, and you see what happens to you, or you see what you pull out of the dark for yourself. Hell, you may pull out of the dark that you may be a fucking serial killer. Who knows? I know that sounds horrible, but what if that's waiting for you in the dark? It doesn't mean that you are a literal serial killer, but what if you pull out something in the astral, or you see something in the astral where you are a serial killer? That can be symbolic for many different things. Doesn't mean, let me rephrase that. Let me dress that up a little bit. It doesn't mean that you're an actual serial killer. It just may mean that there's a part of you that is expressing yourself in a creative way. That may be a symbol that you need to express yourself in a more creative way. Because a lot of serial killers, a lot of them are very creative. As heinous as they may be, a lot of the ways in which they do shit is very creative. You know what I'm saying? And let me say this, I'm not supporting no goddamn serial killers, but I'm just telling you on a symbolic level, if you, go into the dark and you pull out something like that where you're a serial killer, let's just say, in your dreams, you're killing people, that could just simply mean that you are yearning to express yourself in a more creative way, but there's a hindrance there. That's all that may mean on a symbolic level. It doesn't mean that you're going to be an actual serial killer. You feel what I'm saying? So anyway, that's all I really have to say. Know thyself. Fuck everybody else. Know thyself. Fuck everybody else. Information equals self-transformation. And that's really all you really need to know, because it's about your mind. It's about your mind. If you need a consultation, hit me up on Patreon, and I will leave the link to my Patreon in the video description box. Thank you.